What's up, guys? Welcome back to It's Me Tinx Live, exclusively on Radio Andy Channel 102. As always, this is our weekly time to talk to each other with Live Ask Me Anything. I want to talk to all of you, so call me right now. The number is 844-305-ANDY. That's 844-305-2639. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Beyonce Day to me. I'm going to Beyonce tonight, so everybody feel happy for me. I'm so excited. Literally the pinnacle of Virgo excellence is Beyonce. Like, she is just so perfect and I cannot wait. However, I have been hearing some rumors that she doesn't play my favorite song off Cowboy Carter, but I'm hoping that that's just a rumor and it's not true. And the one with Miley. It's just, well, it's not my favorite. It's just like the one that I like to cry to.
Too Most Wanted.
Yes.
It's the best
so
song.
It's the best song. Like, it is just really good. But I guess it would be hard without Miley. So yeah. Oh, you could figure it out. She's just
hopefully maybe she does it for you.
Maybe she does it just for me. But I'm so excited. I saw her last tour, Renaissance tour, and it was probably the best concert I've ever been to. I think that pound per pound, she's just like the best performer. She does it all. She sings, she dances. There's like lots of like sparklers and like, you know, it's a lot of stage going on. So
is Blue Ivy a part of this?
Yes.
Go around?
And Rumi, her other daughter. So it's like really, really cute. I mean,
cute.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to see
it.
I know. I'm excited. So I can't wait for that. And I feel like at concerts, I always get really inspired because I lock in and I feel like when you see someone working so hard to create this, bring this vision to life that they had of their music, I find it very inspiring. So I am excited about that. How was everyone's long weekend? We had a long weekend. I stayed in the city. I did it all. I did it. I was brave. I did have some moments of like, I wish I had single girl calendar managemented a little bit more. I get lonely. I get anxious. Okay. I think that's fine to say. And Steve was right. The vibes in the city were good on this weekend, but you know, there were still some moments where I was like, I wish I had made a little bit more plans. And also the thing is, it was the weather that was a bit of a bummer, and it was only nice on Monday. So then I ended up drinking the most on Monday, which was frustrating.
Isn't it like, am I just past the age of like, it's so much fun to just wake up with no plans and then just go to a bar and then just stay out till you go out to dinner and then keep drinking until it's time to go home and go to bed? Like, that used to be fun.
It is, but I need some structure.
Oh.
And also
No structure.
There like New York is, because you were saying before, Steve, one of the best parts about the city being empty is you being able to go to restaurants, and that's no longer true anymore. We have reached a point there in New York City, and I don't know if this is happening in your town as well. I'm so curious. There's only really two categories of places. There's the way overhyped place that everybody knows about that you have to line up for, whether it's a coffee or a donut or a restaurant or whatever, a sandwich, or it's the place nobody has heard of. And I am not saying that that's based on merit whatsoever. And I am 100% taking ownership that it is my people, aka influencers and social media, who have fucked the entire ecosystem up. But it's like it you know, it messes with your brain a little bit, because I'm like, okay, where should we go? And I'm like, okay, well, we can't go anywhere in the West Village because the line is 2 hours long. We can't go here. We can't go here. We can't go to some places in Brooklyn because they're so busy and crowded. And it's hard because then you think, oh, well, I want to look up some new places to go. Where do you look? On TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just, I genuinely, I don't know what to do anymore. So I've started a new list of places that are not hyped but are very good, but it's a very short list, and
you got to keep it to yourself.
Oh, I'm gatekeeping it. No, I'm gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is back. Okay.
Great.
Gatekeeping is back in a big way, because this just isn't, we can't do this anymore. It's like,
I think when you gatekeep, you actually help us regular folk out too. Because
how?
We find a restaurant that we like, and what happens if we're on the ground floor before influencers find it and start posting about it?
So true.
I can still go revisit that restaurant before there's a 9-mile long line around the block.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's like, I don't know why I was thinking so much about it this weekend. I think maybe because Steve was like, oh, you'll be able to go to all the, you know, great restaurants. And it's just, I think it was like that combined with the West Village, you know, oh, must be nice to be a West Village girl article, which was about many things, but in part it was about how all of the spots have been completely made so popular by social media that now no one can get in them. And I was thinking about that. And it's really complicated. I don't know where we go from here. And I feel bad for the restaurants that don't have the social media because they, it's hard. It's hard if they're just like a regular restaurant and not a super fancy one, then it's like, it's hard for them to get then people in the door.
It also sucks, like, if I walk by a place, like, I love discovering new places, but if you walk by and it's empty, it's like, I don't want to sit in there.
No, of course.
No, like, I want to go to a place that's bustling with people.
Totally.
It just, like, it does become, like, I live in the burbs in New Jersey, and there's, like, a couple of towns around us that have, like, a really good food scene, like, new restaurants are popping up. Like, when I can go out and drink and have, like, a good dinner, no kids, I feel so much anxiety of like, well, someone recommended here. Should we go there? Should we do that?
You feel like you're missing out.
Yeah. But like now I'm just resigned. Like, I don't know. There's 10 great restaurants we know that make us happy and make a stiff cocktail that we love.
Right.
Let's just rotate those bad boys.
So true.
You put a pressure on yourself you don't need.
Yeah. Rarely do I walk into like a new place and be like, I've never heard of this place. I'm going to go just try it. Because you're like, oh no, I haven't seen it online. I'm not going to.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's worth it.
It's so true that we need that validation, but it does stress you out. And I'm like, why do I do that? I mean, I care a lot about food and I think about like what I'm going to eat a lot, but I'm also like, we went to Bernie's on Friday night, which is amazing, which the food is like a fucking 10 out of 10.
I just tried that a couple weeks ago.
But like was a 2-hour wait. And I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, do I care that much? Like, I don't know.
Also, like people won't eat in restaurants unless it can't just be like the chef's really good. There has to be a line about something wild the chef did, and they're like, we have to, like, the chef's mother whispered her secret recipe to her on her deathbed.
I know. Like I'm just imagining this being clipped for social media and like the mean comments, but like I don't think I can go to Bar Pissy anymore. Like the line is so crazy and it's like it's so big now. It's like they expanded it. There's 2 and it's like it's just too much now. I don't know. It's like it's crazy. So I don't know where we go from here about social media and the gatekeeping and all of it. But
you know where there's never a line?
Where?
Chili's Bar and Grill.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Chili's. You could always get into a Chili's. No clout needed.
That got blown up on the internet though too.
I know. I saw that.
That's not true. The cheese pulls, like the cheese pulls, like, and people do. I see mukbangs of Chili's all the time.
All the time.
Because of the cheese pull and like the triple dipper or whatever it's called. Like it influenced. You know what? It influenced Pig to go to Chili's. He'd never been.
Really?
Yeah, and we were supposed to go together, and then he cheated on me and went like 2 months ago because he was influenced by TikTok. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's nuts.
I'm going to be really angry if I go to a Chili's at like 5:30 for my triple dipper on like a Tuesday, and they got to give me that fucking buzzer, that beeper to tell me when my table's ready.
Fucked.
Yeah,
you want to be able to walk in.
Yeah, you want Chili's is my neighborhood bar and grill.
But I don't say it because it's going on the gatekeep list, but I would say the restaurant that we all went to, and if people really wanted to figure it out, they could go back and listen to that episode. The restaurant we all went to as a team is a perfect category for me in New York City because it's unbelievable. You do have to make a reservation, but it's not like trendy.
Right.
Like that's why I like it, is it's not trendy. It's like people who want to have a good time and the food is good and the cocktails are stiff, but it's like, it's not like all the phones out. And I'm very careful to not take my phone out anymore at dinner.
I practiced that this weekend.
Yeah.
This past weekend. I left my phone like inside when we were sitting outside.
It's way better. It's way better.
I did it the opposite. I used my phone even more this weekend. Screen time doubled this weekend. It was great.
Oh my God. Okay. Should we take a caller? Let's take a caller. Nicole. What's up, Nicole? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for calling. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm just curious your opinion on this.
Tell
So
me.
I matched with this guy back in like February. We're both from Texas. I still live in Texas. He's in New York.
Okay.
We kind of had this like back and forth, like really hot and heavy at first. Like he was like texting me all the time, FaceTiming me for like hours on end.
Whoa.
And then fast forward, I go to New York in March. I go often. I have a lot of friends in the city. And it was my friend's birthday. I ended up going up a few days early, spent some time with him, ended up staying with him for 8 days.
Oh my God.
Literally in his apartment for 8 days. Everything was fine. There was a few like questionable things, of course, but I was like, okay.
Like what?
So I caught him in a few lies.
Oh, girl, you were going to skate right over that. You were like, just a few little red flags. Tell us the lies.
Okay, so this kind of seems so silly, but okay, so He's 32.
Okay.
I'm 27, and he still Snapchats, which, it's fine. I do too. No judgment. But he was Snapchatting me right before I was coming to New York, and he had like a vape on his chest, which I think was just like a weed pen. And when I got to New York, like he had gone to Jersey, he has family in Jersey, and he had to go do something in Jersey while I was there. And so I just stayed in his apartment. I was looking for like an extra charger, and I found all these like dab pens, and he had told me he didn't smoke. So then when he like came back home, I was like, oh, like, and I don't mind that at all. And so I was like, oh, like, didn't know he smoked. And he was like, I don't. And I'm like, oh, like you have all this shit in here. And he's like, oh, well, like that's my sister's. And I'm like,
and it's just like a weird thing to lie about. Yeah.
Correct. Like, why are you, that's, you're making like a mountain out of a molehill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's ridiculous to lie about. Fast forward, I'm in New York where we go to dinner to like Lure Fish Bar, like a classic, which was so yum. And like went to Jack's on Bond afterwards, and he was just like acting really weird, and I couldn't like put my finger on it. And so then I went to stay with my friend for her like birthday, which is the whole reason I was going to New York. And he was out with his friends being like, all my friends like think we're getting engaged. Like, mind you, the first night we met, he told me he was falling in love with me. Like, just love bombing, all the things. And so really things started escalating. Like, we started dating, and like we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Things like moved really quickly, and I was like, oh, like maybe he's just older and like knows what he wants.
Yeah.
Well, then I go back up in April. All this like sketchy shit started happening. Like his ex-girlfriend was still like on his Uber account. Like, he took out empty trash for like 30 minutes, like before I was about to leave, flying out of Newark. Like, his excuse was, oh, like my sister called, and I'm like, okay, that seems like bullshit. And then
his sister is taking a lot of the heat here.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so weird. And his sister lives in Hoboken, and they're really close. She's like 7 years younger than him. But it's just like weird how like there was a razor in his shower, and he's like, "Oh, that's my sister's." And then
what?
Yes.
No. Okay. Please, girl, be serious. Like, no. Come on.
I know.
Did you break up with him?
So, long story short, I didn't break up with him. I was about to end things, and he had a picture of his ex on his Instagram still, which everyone, female intuition's everything, and trusting our gut feeling, I feel like, is also everything.
For sure.
And so he had a picture of him and his ex on his Instagram, and so he said he hated her and that she cheated on him, and she's like the most adorable girl. She lives in Texas too and works for like an incredible nonprofit. I'm like, there's no freaking way that this girl did anything wrong. So when I'm in New York that last time before I leave, he like ends up deleting the picture of her. So I'm back in Texas. You know, I'm getting my hair done. I'm telling my hairdresser about the girl and about him. And I was like, yeah, he has an ex. And she's like, I'm showing her his Instagram, and she goes, wait, is this his ex? I'm like, wait, the picture is back. The picture of him and his ex was back. So I brought it back. Yes. And I go, I text him. I'm like, hey, can I call you? I call him, and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, why is a picture of you and your ex-girlfriend back? And he goes, it's not, remember, I deleted it. And I'm like, no, it's on your Instagram right now. Immediately gone. I was like, what the hell?
What the hell?
I know.
So he's like archiving it and unarchiving it. Like, okay, first of all, that's girly as hell of him, but whatever.
As hell, but get this, you can apparently recover deleted pictures within 30 days of them being deleted. So like, if you go to your Instagram and like you delete a picture, you can bring that picture back within 30 days, like before that time is up.
Okay.
So that's exactly what he did. But like, why are you doing that?
Why?
No.
Unless he's in communication with his ex.
Correct. So, moral of the story, he ends up breaking up with me like 3 weeks later, and he was like, it's nothing that you did. And I was like, is your ex in the picture? And like this entire time I couldn't shake like the feeling of his ex. And he was like, no, like she's not in the picture. Like, it's something that you did. The distance is harder than I thought it was going to be. And I was like, that just seems like a BS excuse. We're both in Texas, like the same city. And I was like, that just seems like a cop out. We break up. He unhides a comment that her mom commented on his Instagram. Like, we know these things, right?
Of
like,
course.
As girls, like, we see these things and we're like, okay, like, this is sketchy as crap. And so, fast forward, I, of course, do my stalking as we do. And, like, she was in New York in the fall. He told me he hasn't talked to her in 5 years.
No.
And that she is, like, completely out of his life, that he hates her and all this stuff. So, basically, like, from your standpoint, like, of course I don't want to reach out to him, but I want him to know that, like, I know he's a pathological liar, but part of me is like, do I just keep my peace of knowing, like, okay, he's a piece of shit, or do I call him out?
No, you don't, because this guy, like, you living well is the best revenge. And as soon as you make that choice, like, as soon as you draw the line in the sand and you're like, I'm never speaking to this guy again, the power will shift. Like, you will feel it. It's a magical transfer of power, but you have to decide that you're fully done with him. He's a cheater. He's a liar. He knows way too much about the inner workings of Instagram. I didn't even know that you could do that. And you need to fully cut it off with him, like, and block him and never stalk him or his ex again. Like, you should prepare, like, if I were you, because I'm psycho and this is how I prepare myself, like, you should prepare for them to get married. Okay, you should prepare. And that is just how the fucking world works sometimes, and it's not fair. And he is a piece of trash, but it is not your problem anymore. And I promise you, the way that you will feel best is if you say, I'm never speaking to him again, and I'm going to have the best summer of my fucking life. Promise you. There is nothing that you can say to this man that will A, be validating to you, that will B, give you closure, or C, that will hit. Because when someone doesn't have the same morals as us telling them off doesn't land because they don't have the same morals as us. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Totally. And I totally agree. I think it's just so hard because it's like one of those things where it's like, of course, it's like a power thing, right? Like,
of course.
I want him to know, I know that he's like a piece of shit and
of
that
course.
he is a liar.
But the thing
like
is, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's the shitty thing. And the thing I don't want to say to you, but it's the truth. He doesn't care. He's not going to be like, oh no, like I hurt her feelings. She knows that I'm bad. He doesn't care. This is the way this man operates. And the most powerful thing you can do, the only thing that men respond to is an energy change. And you removing your energy. The punishment is that he doesn't get your energy anymore. I promise you, it is the most powerful thing you can do, but you have to decide in your gut and be like, I'm so done, and block him, block the ex for good measure, and genuinely look at your calendar and be like, when am I going to, like, the lake with my girlfriends? When am I going out? When am I getting my next blowout? When am I gonna get my nails done? Like, when am I going to this concert? Become diabolically obsessed with yourself this summer. And I promise you, by the end of the summer, you will feel so fucking good and powerful. You will have had so much fun. You will not care about him anymore. But you have to make the choice for real.
Totally. No, and love you so much. It's so empowering because I just feel like as women, we just like deal with this shit too much. You know?
Of course, it
like,
wears us down. It wears us down and we're exhausted and we want to mother these men. And we want to say, you know, I know that you're a piece of shit. Like, of course, I understand the inclination, but from experience, the best summer of my life is after I got dumped and I literally blocked him on everything. It was the best summer of my life because I was like, once you make the choice, it like gives you like freedom. It gives you real headspace because it's a black and white rule. You blocked him, you got to move on.
I know. And the part of me that's like, and it's so silly, but part of me, like, we still follow each other on Instagram and I know I need to unfollow, but
my God.
I know. I'm just so curious.
But don't be, because that's giving him power. Your curiosity is giving him power because it means you still care. The only way to not to stop caring, you guys, is to go cold turkey and to block someone. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Am I ever go, yes, but is it also true? Yes. Block him and move on. What good can come? What are you waiting for, the fucking picture of her in New York holding a hot dog next to him popping up? Assume it's coming. Assume they're going to get engaged this year and say, not my problem, not my guy.
Wow.
And like, why would you care? Like, I'll be harsh with you for a second because I've been in your shoes. Like, are you a fan? Like, are you a fan of theirs? Like, why are you checking on their Instagram? You have to be harsh with yourself. You have to be like, whoa, I'm nobody's fan, right?
No. Totally.
I'm nobody's fan. So block him, block the ex, block them from your Finsta because I know you're thinking about looking from your Finsta, and then move on.
You're the best. Thank you.
I love you.
I appreciate it.
I love you. Be strong. Go have the best summer ever. Okay.
I will. Thank you so much.
Love you. Bye. Okay. Let's have a vote in the studio. Will she block? Steve says no. Chris says no. Jesse says yes. That's optimistic. Lauren says,
I think she might. It might take
I think it might take another more
crushing thing to happen.
Sometimes it takes seeing something awful. It's literally like you're on your Instagram and you look at, and then you see a picture of like a hand in the background and you're like, oh my God. And you like feel like you've seen something illegal. And then you're like, oh no, I need to protect myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, my ex-boyfriend just texted me. Let's see what he said.
Oh,
He's obsessed with me becoming a live streamer. Oh, that's sweet. He said, read this after your show so that I don't get distracted.
like a live streamer.
Like a Twitch streamer.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of into it. I kind of think it's cool.
What? Are you going to, like, just doing your show live streaming?
No,
or like playing
my
video
entire
games
life.
and talking to them?
Maybe my entire life. Like Truman Show myself.
I just feel like after like 6 hours, you'd be like, guys, I got to take a break.
Well,
and then like
sounds
shutting the camera down. That sounds horrible.
Sounds like
Lauren's
exact
doing the
opposite.
calculations of like how much more work it would be for her.
No, it's like the exact opposite of what you've been saying you want.
I know. I've been off TikTok for 6 days. I hate when I take a big break because then I like feel so scary to get back on. But I'm not in a TikTok mood lately.
How many hours a day were you watching? Like, I'm actually a little worried about myself with how much TikTok
you watch
I watch.
it. Well, I haven't posted in 6 days, and I've been barely watching it either. And it like I do feel happier. I genuinely do. Like it's sad, but it's like, and I don't want to get into it at all. But there's a horrible thing that happened on TikTok like last week, or it's alleged or whatever. And the way that people reacted like actually made me so disturbed with humanity that I was like, I actually need to take a break from this entire community on TikTok because like it's making me feel like the end is near because of how people are acting about this. So I need to take a break from it. And honestly, I don't really miss it. It's scary. I don't want to go back.
No, that's good. The trends on TikTok right now are really like bothering me anyway.
Yeah,
like they're just like annoying ones. I don't find them to be funny.
I feel like the trends keep getting like more annoying and more annoying.
Yeah, they're just like I'm not into it. So
yeah,
it's a nice time to be off.
It's good. It's good. I mean, maybe sometimes when I travel, I do want to show like the cool parts of travel. So maybe next week I'll do it because I'm going to Italy.
You gotta do it then.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know about TikTok, man. Maybe it's Twitch for me coming up.
I just picture like people wearing headphones with a microphone playing Call of Duty and drinking Mountain Dew.
That's what I know.
That's what I know Twitch as.
Well, and I've always wanted a headset for one reason or another. Like like
a Britney Spears one?
Yeah, because I'm not going to be a pop star. So I feel like, at least I could maybe be a gamer. And they also have really comfortable chairs. Have you seen their chairs? They're really big.
You got to get an X chair.
Yeah.
We got to get you an X chair.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool. All right. Let's go to Anne. What's up, Anne? How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the show. Yeah. What's going on?
So I'm currently planning a wedding and going through the splinter era with one of my best friends.
Okay. Is it your wedding?
I had my yeah. It's
okay.
I'm getting married in September.
Congrats.
And I just thank you. I just had my bachelorette last weekend, but we had been planning it for like the longest time. And then a few months ago, when we started to get like all the 8 girls together, my gay best friend like agreed on the date, agreed on like the payment, whatever. And then like a month later, I'm going to collect the money. And I texted him like 4 times to say like, hey, and like he had been annoying, like hard to collect money from for my other friend's bachelorette. So like I genuinely didn't think anything of it. And I texted him like the 4th time. I was like, are you okay? And then he sent like this very generic text saying like, I'm sorry, I can't go. And it was just so, it didn't even say why, which was like the most insane to me because I'm like, you're one of my best friends. I'm so confused.
Right.
And I immediately started bawling and called my other friend and I was like, why would he do this or whatever? And then I asked him why. I called him a bunch of times. He didn't answer. Like I was like, let's have this conversation over the phone.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I said why, and his reason was that he was traveling this week, I guess it would be this week, for work, and he, I guess, doesn't have Monday off, or didn't have Monday off, so he needed to travel like Sunday night. And I was like, oh, why don't you just come like for one day, and then so then you still get whatever, half the fun, whatever.
Right.
And it's a drivable location, so he could have made it work. And he was like, oh, I don't know, like I might have to travel the week before, but I'm not sure yet, like my boss might go on vacation or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, like just let me know if you can make the one day work. And then like 3 weeks went by and like he doesn't let me know. So I texted him saying like, hey, did your boss ever decide if she's going on vacation? And he's like, yeah, she's going, so I'm going to be traveling for work. I was like, okay, well, thanks. Like, were you going to let me know? And like, I was upset.
Yeah.
Again. And he was like, to be fair, I already told you that I couldn't go. I was like, all right, thanks.
Yeah.
And then this past week, I have been stalking his location like a crazy girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he did not travel for work last week.
Wow.
And then he also didn't travel for work this week.
Damn.
So I don't know, like, he lied to me, or like, I don't know exactly what's going on, and I don't know what to do, because the actual problem is that, and also I was complaining about it at the Bachelorette, so it's kind of like bringing my vibe down for like, I'm
of
trying
course.
to like be excited, and like I want him there, and
of
whatever,
course
I wanted him at the Bachelorette, but now I'm like starting to get pissed, because I'm like, you should.
It feels unnecessarily dramatic. It feels unnecessarily dramatic. Yes.
And like, I know that your take is that like people don't need to be there for like those moments, or like some things, like there's like reasons for it, but it doesn't feel like there's a reason. Like, it's not, he has a good like high paying job and could possibly like take off. Like, it almost feels like he just doesn't want to make like the sacrifice for it. And that's what's like stressful. And then also, when I was complaining about it, I was reading the text, and someone was like, oh, that sounds like ChatGPT. And so, like, in that moment, I, like, did a prompt for ChatGPT, and it was like, identical.
Stop.
I sent an email this morning to the producers, but it's kind of long for you to read right now, but eventually you should get to it.
Okay.
But it was crazy. So it was identical. And the problem that I'm having now is that my wedding is also a very non-traditional, like, vacation style wedding where all my friends stay at this house, and there's like 25 to 30 people, and he's one of them. But I'm like, I almost don't want him there, because I want the wedding to be like a special, like, it is intimate, obviously.
Of course.
And like, I don't even want to deal with like the fake, like, he texted me for the Bachelorette, like, oh, have fun. But I'm like, why are you lying? Like, I don't understand. You're supposed to be one of my best friends.
It feels like it. Well, first of all, I do think that, like, yes, like, I don't think that you can measure your friendships in terms of like bachelor parties and whatnot. But what your friend did is like really unnecessarily dramatic and just bad communication. And if he wasn't able to commit because of financial reasons, he should have said that up front. And that's just clear as day to me, that like, if it was a money thing, he should have said, I love you, and look, I can't swing it, but I'll be there in spirit at the beginning. And all of this back and forth and the lying feels icky. It feels like there's something underneath it, and you don't want to be dealing with it. And I completely understand your hesitation to have him in the house. I mean, I think that, like, if I were you, I would try to get him in person. I would try to be like, can we get coffee? Because like things feel really off. And I would say, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I don't think that you traveled these past couple weeks. It feels like there's another reason that you didn't want to come to my bachelorette party. All of the back and forth drama has got me down, because you're one of my closest friends and I want you to be in my celebration. So could you please just be honest about what's going on? Because it feels like there's something else. Like, I don't think there would be all these shenanigans if he just like didn't want to come. Like, what would be the reason if it wasn't money or there's like something else going on?
I also really quickly want to say, excuse me, Anne sent an email today.
Yeah.
And it is very long, like his response, and then she's not being crazy.
Yeah.
It really looks very similar to what ChatGPT pumped out that she put in his message to her. So this is not a case of her being paranoid.
No,
she is pretty spot on.
By the way, I believe her. I just want to get to the bottom of like why her friend is like acting this way. Like, because I feel like, I mean, I feel. Do any of your other friends, have they speculated as to what it could be? Did they say, oh, maybe money, or maybe just not wanting to go, or like?
Yeah. So I think it's not money, and I think that's why I'm having such a hard time about it. Is that like, I think our relationship is changing and has been changing.
Yeah.
So he lives in New York and I'm in Philly.
Okay.
I'm just sharing very intimate details, but and he's gay, so he's like part of the gay community, and he's getting lost in it a little bit. He's like a beautiful gay man, so he loves it. Yeah. And I think it's like loving his life now, and it almost feels like before, like his life, like he doesn't care about his life from the past in a way. And I genuinely thought like my wedding would be an important thing for him. Like, even if we're not as close as we used to be, like I would think that it's an important enough event that he would like, for one weekend, not need to like be part of the scene. And I think, I don't know, I guess it's a conversation I need to have with him. And I want to call him, but I genuinely don't even think like he would answer. And then I don't want to like give him a warning on like the fact that I know. And
so true.
Yeah,
that's really tough. And sometimes like, and I'm sorry. And sometimes I've had that with a friend where I'm like, oh, you just don't want to make the effort to come. Like, that's okay. That's a thing that happens. And I'm sorry that you're getting the sense that he feels like his life in New York is more important, or maybe that he just wants to kind of shed his old life or whatever. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if this is Splinter era, but now that you've said that part, I completely understand why you said that. And it does sound a lot like Splinter era. And that's a shame because, you know, making time for people for the special occasions like is a good way to maintain the deep long-term friendships over the years. And it's sad that it doesn't seem like he has an interest in doing that yet. So I am sorry. I think you've got to get in person with him. I think you should just be like, do you want to get drinks? And just like have a glass of wine and be like, I hate feeling like this with you. I really don't like feeling like this with you, and be really vulnerable and try to get to the bottom of it. And like, and also maybe you should even like go so far as to be like, it feels like you want to forget me, or it feels like this part of your life. Like, I understand that you love your new life, but like you can never make new old friends.
I know. I'm just terrified he's going to be like, yeah, I love my life so much. Like, sorry, we're done.
That's so scary, but probably better to know and then not have him in your house during your wedding.
I know. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
For it out.
No, that's really tough. I'm thinking about you, and I'll take a look at the email, and if you want to call us back next week or whenever, we're here.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Lots of love, babe. Good luck. Bye. That's a tough one. That feels really sad. I hope that's not the end of their friendship. Okay, guys, super quick break. We'll be right back after this with more calls.